Few decisions in modern royal history have revealed as much about the changing nature of monarchy as the one made by Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, and Prince Edward. In a family defined by titles, rank, and centuries of tradition, they chose a remarkably different path for their children. Rather than encouraging Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex, to embrace the full weight of royal status, they deliberately gave them the opportunity to grow up with greater privacy and independence, a decision that continues to attract attention today. Here at Royal Scope, we often examine the moments that shape the monarchy behind the scenes. While royal headlines frequently focus on coronations, state visits, and public ceremonies, some of the most significant decisions are made quietly. The choice made by Sophie and Prince Edward more than 2 decades ago is one of those moments, and its impact is becoming increasingly clear as their children reach adulthood. When Prince Edward married Sophie Rhys-Jones in 1999, Buckingham Palace announced that any children born to the couple would be styled as the children of an earl rather than using the royal titles they were entitled to under the 1917 letters patent issued by King George V. Legally, both Lady Louise and James were entitled to be known as Prince or Princess and to use the style of His or Her Royal Highness. Yet their parents chose a different route. At the time, the decision stood out. Other grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth II, including Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, carried their royal titles publicly. Sophie and Edward, however, believed their children would likely pursue careers outside the institution and wanted them to experience a more normal upbringing. It was a forward-looking decision in a monarchy already beginning to consider how it would adapt to the 21st century. The Duchess herself later explained the reasoning. In a widely quoted interview with the Sunday Times in 2020, Sophie said that she and Edward had raised their children with the understanding that they would probably need to work for a living. It was a simple statement, but it revealed a parenting philosophy centered on preparation rather than privilege. That philosophy faced its first major test when Lady Louise turned 18 in 2021. Royal watchers immediately began discussing whether she would choose to begin using the title of princess. Technically, the option was available to her, yet no public change followed. Louise continued to be known as Lady Louise Windsor, maintaining the identity she had grown up with rather than embracing a more prominent royal role. Her decision was particularly notable because Lady Louise has remained close to the royal family. She has attended major events, including the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II and the coronation of King Charles III. She is also known to have shared a special bond with her late grandmother. Yet despite her proximity to royal life, she has largely pursued a private path, including studying at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, the same university attended by Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. As attention shifted to James, Earl of Wessex, many observers wondered whether he would make a different choice. James turned 18 in December 2025, reaching the same milestone that had prompted questions about his sister 4 years earlier. Once again, discussion intensified among royal commentators. Would James begin using the title of prince? Would he step into a more visible royal position? So far, there has been no indication of a dramatic change. Much like his sister, James has largely remained out of the spotlight. His upbringing reflected the same approach carefully established by Sophie and Prince Edward, one that prioritized education, personal development, and privacy over public status. If you're enjoying this analysis, remember to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Sophie and Prince Edward made the right decision by allowing their children to choose their own relationship with royal titles? It is a debate that continues to divide royal observers. The timing of these decisions is especially significant because the monarchy itself is evolving. King Charles III has long supported the concept of a slimmer working monarchy, focusing official duties on a smaller group of senior royals. In that context, the path chosen for Louise and James appears increasingly aligned with the institution's future direction. At the same time, Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, has become one of the most respected working members of the royal family. Her extensive charity work, advocacy for women affected by conflict, support for people with disabilities, and growing role representing the crown have earned widespread praise. Following the deaths and departures that have reshaped the royal landscape in recent years, Sophie has emerged as a trusted and dependable figure within the institution. What makes her story compelling is that she has balanced public duty with private protection. While dedicating herself to royal service, She also ensured that her children could decide for themselves how closely they wished to be tied to the institution. Ultimately, this is not really a story about titles. It is a story about choice. In a family where tradition often carries enormous weight, Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, and Prince Edward chose flexibility over expectation. Lady Louise and James were given opportunities that previous generations of royals rarely enjoyed: the freedom to define their own futures. Whether they eventually take on larger royal responsibilities remains to be seen. But for now, their journey reflects a monarchy adapting to modern realities, and a mother whose influence may prove far more lasting than any title written on a royal birth certificate.